Okay, Arsenal's win tonight sets them at the top of the table. Lens drawing with PSV, so we'll see where it goes from here. You would hope Arsenal can go on and win the group. We have to play Lens at home. Obviously, a really poor performance away from home to Lens a couple weeks ago. That saw us our first loss of the season, in fact. So you would hope Arteta and the players have learned a thing or two from that game, and they can go on at the home game and get the 3 points that we desperately need in order to top the group, because Lens really look like the team that could get second place. Really fantastic season from them last year, just 1 point behind PSG to almost snatch that league away. So yeah, really important game. Lots of standouts. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus, a big standout, a goal and an assist, and fantastic assist. You know, when I was watching it, all of us had the same. You know, you saw the run from Martinelli, but the turn, it was such a mouth-watering turn that Jesus had, and the weight of the pass was perfect. I thought Martinelli threw on goal like that, he's going to round the keeper 9 times out of 10. Of course, that one time being the goal against Chelsea that everyone so fondly remembers, and the goal that he scored himself was just fantastic. Almost a bit like the debut goal that he scored, although that was a little more of a chip. The angle he was at, the one touch that he made, it's just fantastic. We're seeing the best of Jesus. Hopefully, the reason he came off so soon, you would hope it's not too much of a knock. He spoke after the game himself, saying, he felt a little something. He thinks it's nothing, and he thinks it'll be okay. So we'll see what happens on Saturday with Gabriel Jesus. But of course, player of the match, Tomiyasu, the Champions League man of the match. A fantastic game from him. I assume that Zinchenko might have been benched just because of how well Tomiyasu has been playing recently. More of a Timber-like build, I think, Tomiyasu. Versatile, extremely reliable. Especially in the one-on-one. He's quick, he's strong. It's like having William Saliba as an inverted right back, really. Tons of praise from Mikel Arteta. The fans absolutely love him. I love Tomiyasu. I've got a lot of ties to Japan myself, and the rumors of bringing him over to the Arsenal got me so excited. Just fantastic player all around. One of the men of the match. I think Declan Rice could have been a contender. In fact, I'm sure he was a contender for either of those, player of the match or man of the match himself. Another brilliant game from Declan Rice, sort of interchanging as a 6 and an 8 the entire game. The way he can bring the ball forward in attack and covering for Tomiyasu at right back. The blocks he made, the tackles he made at the last minute. Just, I mean, the man is priceless now. Once they pried him away from West Ham, you have to say one of the most priceless players in the world. Of course, just a select few, but to have him at Arsenal, it's still almost unbelievable seeing him in an Arsenal shirt and playing every single game. Such a monumental figure, Declan Rice, and one of the biggest signings. In fact, the biggest signing for sure, at least under Mikel Arteta, if not under the Emirates era, in my opinion. People maybe have their own, but in terms of game changer and just what he brings, mentality, still such a young guy. It's brilliant. He's just such a brilliant player. Odegaard, Saka, sort of a dip in form. Perhaps it could come down to needing a rest. Is it something with confidence? I think Odegaard, it's a little bit different. I think he's being asked to play sort of a different role. Thomas Partey being out the last 2 games, he's having to come a little bit deeper. Thomas Partey can find a pass from anywhere, and Odegaard is sort of having to do a lot of work himself. Although, having said that, it's the passing that's off, the shooting's a bit off. He had a really good opportunity in the first half that he sort of just blew over the top of the goal, and sort of sums him up. The last couple games, I see a lot of people, I spoke about this last video, a lot of fans turning on Odegaard, which to me is, it's one of the dumbest things you could do. I touched on this last video, so I won't talk about it too much here, but captain of the club, helped us get back to where we are now. It led the team into an excruciating title race last season. He's the man moving forward. I have absolutely no doubts about it. People who talk about Maddison, sure, Maddison's a brilliant player. He's in a very good run of form at the moment, under that new manager and blah, blah, blah. But, I'm not taking Maddison over Odegaard any day of the week. For me, Odegaard is a better player. And let's just leave it at that. And in regards to Saka, I don't know. I think he'll be fine as always. Maybe a bit of a rest on Saturday. You would hope he can get a little bit of a rest before that. He can show a bit of a cameo, 10 minutes, 20 minutes against Sheffield United. You would hope that Arsenal have the game under wraps by then. You can give Vieira some minutes, who's sort of been diminishing. We saw a lot of him in the last couple weeks coming on, starting games. So it would be good to see Vieira back into the starting 11, if not the 11 itself at some point in the game. Give Saka a bit of a rest. Gabriel Martinelli, what else can you say about him? Brilliant, scored on his debut. Before. I mean, it's so good having this player back. The stuff that he brings, the quickness, the confidence that he has as such a young player. Missed that opportunity in the first half, but totally made up for it in the second with that rounding the goalkeeper, a tidy finish. Can still miss from there. Don't forget. Jorginho did his job. I think not brilliant, but a sound job. He's not Thomas Partey, but he's not El Neni. So did his job, did what he was supposed to do. A couple forward passes, a couple passes you were sort of pulling your hair out over, but at the end of the day, that's what he's expected to do. David Raya again benching Ramsdale in a performance that was pretty underwhelming. I don't know if it's the pressure that's getting to him. I don't think that's the case. You probably feel pressure every game, as a goalkeeper, especially when you're new to the club. I think Ramsdale maybe deals with it a little bit better in some instances. I had a tweet talking about Arteta is keen on rotating goalkeepers, but he won't even do it for competitions. When he first talked about bringing Raya in and rotating keepers, you thought he would be doing it 2 weeks in the Premier League as Raya, then the next game he's going to play Ramsdale. That's what it came off as, but you don't even see him rotating keepers for competitions like this. So it's pretty disappointing. We saw Ramsdale, I think, last in the Carabao Cup when we got knocked out. Again, Raya not really impressing me tonight in goal with that performance. Last couple games been a little bit lackluster. I don't know what Arteta plans to do. It's very, very tricky when you have goalkeepers, a position where you really don't rotate all that often, with the exception of different competitions. So, excuse me, I think it's a bit of a headache he's given himself, but Arteta a bit stubborn, but definitely sticks to his word, sticks to his players, and hopefully that confidence can get Raya back up there with the first couple of games when we saw him. That save against Tottenham was fantastic, and I think that's what you get with Raya. But time will tell. We'll see what happens with those two goalkeepers. So all right, that's all. That's it. Sheffield on Saturday won't be easy. You never you can never really predict a game in the Premier League, can you? So you hope they can make it easy themselves, Arsenal, and they don't have to wait until a 90th minute equalizer. You pray that's not the case, or at least a winner, but you never know with Arsenal. You just never know. So thanks very much for watching. If you've made it this far, I do really appreciate it, and I will see you when I see you.